Welcome back to Chat Like a Native. If you've been learning English for a while, you probably feel pretty fantastic about your vocabulary, maybe your grammar too. You can read complex stuff, understand the news,
Right.
but then you meet someone new and your mind just goes blank right after, "Hi, how are you?"
Oh, absolutely. It's like the ultimate fluency barrier, isn't it? You're kind of stuck in that shallow end. You really want to move past the small talk,
Yeah,
but you just don't know how to make that switch without, I don't know, pushing too hard or feeling awkward, and then you just stop talking.
exactly. And we've looked into what makes B1 and B2 speakers get stuck like this. It often boils down to one thing. Fluency isn't just knowing the words.
Hmm.
It's having a map for what to say next. So today, we're giving you that map. It's the 4-step bridge question ladder. Think of it as a practical toolkit. It'll help you move pretty seamlessly, actually, from simple icebreakers to, a more meaningful connection. And we think you can grasp it in about 12 minutes. Let's get you unstuck. I'm your conversation coach, and with me, sort of digging into the drills and asking the tough questions, is the perpetually curious.
Hello. Yeah, I'm definitely here to figure out how to actually use these steps. Like, how do I know when it's okay to jump to the next level and maybe when I need to just hold back a bit?
That's the core mission today. We're aiming for what we call comfortable depth. So picture a successful conversation like crossing a river, okay? You can't just leap from one bank all the way to the other side.
I mean, too far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need stepping stones.
Hmm.
And these stones, well, that's what we're calling bridge questions.
Okay, bridge questions. Can you define that a bit more clearly for me?
Sure. A bridge question is basically a prompt. It's designed specifically to move a chat from those light, simple topics,
Hmm.
the weather, what time it is, towards something richer, maybe some insight, or even just a quick mini story.
Ah, okay. So it's like a key that unlocks the next part of the conversation.
Precisely. It opens the door to connection.
I like the stepping stone visual,
Yeah.
but isn't the tricky part knowing which stone to aim for next? How do you stop yourself from accidentally jumping, like way too far too fast?
Yeah.
And suddenly the other person feels put on the spot or just uncomfortable.
That fear is exactly why we use this ladder framework. It's structured. You only move up one step, one rung at a time,
Okay.
and the other person's engagement. That totally dictates the pace.
Hmm.
If they seem interested, they lean in, maybe ask you something back, you climb.
Mm-hmm.
If they give short answers, look away, seem distracted,
Mm.
you step back down. Or just change the topic.
Got it. So it's responsive.
Totally responsive. Let's look at the first 3 steps, the lower rungs of this bridge question ladder.
Okay, let's see them. The lower rungs.
All right. Step 1 is warm. This one's super low risk. The purpose here is really simple. Just open the door, show a bit of friendliness. You're just acknowledging they're there, their current state.
Right.
An example, how's your day going so far? Or maybe, what's keeping you busy this week? Simple stuff. You're not digging for deep information yet. It's just like putting out a welcome map.
Okay, welcoming. Makes sense.
Now, if they give you a nice engaged answer, not just fine, then you can move to step 2, open. The goal here is to invite a bit more detail, to kind of expand the chat beyond just a yes-no answer. So instead of a closed question like, did you enjoy the meeting?
Yeah, which just gets a yes or no.
Right. You ask something like, what was the most interesting part of your work right now? Or say you're at an event. What surprised you about this event? See the difference. Using what?
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a big shift. Asking what surprised you kind of guides them towards sharing an observation or an insight that feels much easier to build on.
Exactly. It sets you up really nicely for step 3,
Story.
because, real connection often happens through narrative, through stories. This step is about switching the chat from just facts, like I like hiking, to inviting a little mini story.
How?
You ask about the journey, like how did you get into hiking? Or what's the backstory behind how you learned to code? Or maybe tell me how you first got started with that hobby.
Right, right. I can see how that builds naturally. You start warm, find a topic they engage with, then you ask for the story behind it.
Precisely. But remember, the usage rule is critical here. You always start at warm. If they engage, move up one step. If they give really short answers or they look distracted, maybe checking their phone, you immediately step down. Or switch topics. The goal is comfortable depth. Always comfortable.
Okay, that actually takes a lot of the pressure off, knowing you've got an out if things kind of stall.
Definitely. Now, before we actually practice this, there's a really powerful delivery tip. Something that makes this whole ladder thing work much better. You need to use a softener.
A softener. Why is that so crucial?
Because even the best, most open-ended question can just fall flat. if it sounds like you're, I don't know, interrogating them.
Yeah, the third degree.
Right. So a softener is just a simple little phrase that makes the question sound less demanding, less direct.
Like what? Give me an example.
Using something like, I'm curious, at the start. Or, if you don't mind me asking, or even just a quick question. It completely changes the tone. You go from sounding like a lawyer taking notes to just a genuinely interested person.
I see. So it's like a verbal smoother, makes it less abrupt for the person answering.
Exactly. Nicely put. Okay, let's try it right now.
Okay.
Imagine we just worked on a team project together. I want you to ask me an open question about it, and remember to include a softener. Go for it.
Okay. I'm curious. What was the most unexpected challenge our team overcame in, say, the last month?
That's a great question. And the softener, I'm curious, was perfect. Really natural.
Okay, good.
Now, here's just a tiny bit of gentle coaching on delivery. Remember the 3-second rule? Yeah. After you ask that excellent question, pause. Just let the silence sit there for maybe 3 seconds. Your question was really well worded, but sometimes we rush ahead, maybe out of nervousness.
Yeah, I do that, definitely.
And we don't give the listener enough time to actually think and formulate a good response, especially if they're thinking in English as a second language.
That's so true. I totally rush. It feels like if I don't fill the silence immediately, I'm failing the conversation somehow.
You've got to trust the pause. Let it breathe.
Okay. Press the pause. I'll work on that.
Good. Now let's tackle the final rung, the deepest one. Step 4, reflection.
Reflection. Okay, this is where we go from stories to meaning. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. This step unlocks synthesis, meaning, understanding. But without getting, like, too heavy or personal, ideally, you're asking them to process their experience, not just tell you what happened.
Moving from what happened to what it means.
You got it. Examples might be, so what did you learn from that whole experience? Or maybe if you could redo one step in that project looking back, what would you change next time?
Wow, okay. That does feel like a bigger jump. That step feels, well, inherently riskier, doesn't it? Especially if you're in a professional setting or maybe talking with someone from a different cultural background.
Yeah.
You really don't want to accidentally stumble into a topic that's politically charged or just inappropriate. How do you manage that risk?
You've hit on a really key concern, and that risk is precisely why we deploy our safety net. We call it the SAFE filter.
Safe filter.
Every single bridge question, but especially these reflection ones, really needs to pass this 4-part test. It helps ensure your questions are genuinely global friendly. So S is for safe. Pretty straightforward. Avoid those hot-button topics, personal money stuff, politics, religion, detailed health issues, unless they bring it up first and clearly invite you in.
Right. Don't go there unless invited.
A is for appropriate. You've got to match the question to the context, the situation. Is this question okay for a quick chat by the coffee machine at work? Or is it better suited for, say, a longer coffee break or a one-on-one lunch?
Context matters hugely.
Yeah.
A question that's fine for lunch might be totally wrong for a big company networking event.
Totally. F is for friction reducing. This just means you phrase the question so it's easy, not risky, for the other person to answer. They shouldn't have to struggle to figure out what you're actually asking. Clear and simple.
Okay. Less friction. Easy.
And E is for easy to answer. Use really clear language. And if possible, maybe offer options or make it easy for them to answer briefly or in more detail.
Okay, safe. Safe, appropriate, friction reducing, easy to answer.
You got it.
So if I was at a conference, a safe question might be, what part of the conference are you most curious about learning more about this afternoon?
Perfect example.
It's non-controversial, it fits the context, it's simple, and it's easy to answer. Low effort.
Exactly. Passes safe with flying colors. Okay, let's try to integrate this right now with another little practice, a substitution drill.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a base prompt, and you'll substitute a variable. Focus on making the final question appropriate and easy to answer.
Right.
Here's the base. What's something that's working well for your team this X? Let's substitute semester for X.
All right, semester for X. Oh, wait, can I also try integrating their other tip you mentioned, the bridge pair thing?
You are one step ahead of me. Absolutely.
Okay.
Ask the question with semester, but pair it with a small, brief self-share first.
Okay, let me try. So I've been testing out a new project management tool myself lately, and it's actually really streamlined our weekly reporting. What's something that's working really well for your team this semester?
Fantastic. You nailed the substitution, and you kept your self-share, your bridge pair perfectly under that crucial 10-second mark.
Ah, the 10-second rule for the share.
Yeah. That helps you avoid one of the biggest conversation killers. The monologue that's disguised as a question. Your quick share gives them a little model for how to answer, and it lowers the pressure, makes it feel more balanced.
Okay, that makes sense. I feel actually quite a bit more confident now I have the structure,
Mm-hmm.
but I know even a perfectly structured call-in can sometimes just, fall flat because of how you deliver it.
True.
Where do B1, B2 speakers tend to stumble the most with the delivery part?
Good question. We've definitely seen 3 major conversation killers pop up again and again in our observations. Let's talk fixes.
Okay, pitfalls and fixes. Let's hear them.
All right, the first common mistake, the rapid-fire question attack.
Oh, yeah, like an interview.
Exactly. You sound like an interviewer just checking off boxes, not like a friend having a chat. The fix is pretty simple. Slow down.
Okay.
Ask one question, maybe allow for one quick follow-up based on their answer. And then this is key. Summarize what they said before you even think about moving to a completely new topic.
Ah, that summary step. That seems huge. Like if I say, okay, so switching to that weekly retro really made the difference for your team's efficiency, that actually proves I was listening right.
Totally.
And it sort of earns me the right to ask the next question.
Perfectly put. It shows you're listening, and listening, remember, is the fuel for depth. Okay, the second common mistake is the one we just practiced avoiding. The monologue disguised as a question. Your opening story, your self-share, is just way too long.
Right. Talking too much about myself.
Yeah. And the fix, as we covered, keep that bridge pair under 10 seconds. You're there to help their story come out, not to tell your own epic tale right then.
Got it. Keep it brief. Facilitate their story.
And the third big mistake, fishing for vulnerability way too soon.
Oh, yeah. That sounds dangerous.
It is. This is like asking a deep reflection question right at the beginning. It usually just results in awkward silence or maybe a very stiff, formal answer.
Yeah.
I actually have a personal failure story here.
Oh, no. Do tell.
Years ago, new colleague, maybe the second conversation, I asked, out of nowhere, so, what's your biggest regret in your career so far?
Ouch. Wow.
I know.
That's a heavy reflection question for a new colleague.
It was awful, the look on their face. Anyway, the fix is non-negotiable. Stay on the ladder. Start low. If you feel any resistance or you see them physically kind of pull back, step down immediately. Go back to open or even warm. Or use what we call a repair move. Something like, hey, no worries, happy to switch topics. What's actually on your mind today? Your main priority is protecting the relationship, the comfort level, not forcing some deep answer they're not ready to give.
Okay. Stay on the ladder. Step down if needed. Use a repair move. Those fixes are super practical, really actionable.
Good. Okay, time for a quick quiz just to help cement this knowledge.
Right, quiz time. I think I'm ready. Lay it on me.
Question 1. Which conversational move is the real fuel for depth in a conversation? Is it asking a great new question, or is it active listening? Active listening, definitely, 100%. Asking a new question just changes the subject, right? Listening actually deepens the one you're already on.
Correct. Listening is the fuel. Okay, second question. If someone tells you, oh, I'm really into specialized product design, what's a super simple listening technique you can use immediately to encourage them to say more?
Echo the keyword. Just say product design, maybe with a curious upward tone.
Exactly.
That gives them instant validation, like, oh, you heard me,
Yeah.
and it's an easy prompt for them to continue.
Perfect. It's such a simple micro skill, but it has a huge impact over time. Okay, last question. The SAFE filter. It focuses a lot on avoiding risk, obviously. But does it tell you to avoid constructive comparisons?
Constructive comparisons, like comparing two things. I'm going to say false. It probably doesn't tell you to avoid all comparisons. You are correct. It is false. The framework actually encourages useful constructive comparisons as long as they're safe. For example, asking something like, what's something surprisingly similar between your last job and this one? That's actually a pretty easy, low-friction reflection question.
Okay.
It moves the conversation forward, prompts reflection, but it still passes the SAFE test.
Fantastic. That clarifies things. Okay, before we try the full sequence, let me quickly summarize what I think are the 3 key actionable takeaways from this.
Please do.
Okay. First, use the bridge ladder. Warm, open, story, reflection. Use it to systematically guide how deep you go in the conversation. Make sure you don't jump ahead before the other person seems ready.
Good. Takeaway 1, use the ladder.
Second, always check your questions, especially the deeper ones, against that SAFE filter. Is it safe, appropriate for the context, friction reducing, easy to answer? That helps guarantee your questions are global, friendly, and just. Easy for anyone to handle.
Excellent. Takeaway 2, use the SAFE filter.
And third, Always remember that listening is the real fuel. So practice that 3-second rule that pause after you ask. And use simple follow-ups like echoing keywords just to show you're engaged and listening.
That is a phenomenal summary. Really captures the core ideas.
Thanks.
Now, for the final test, the grand finale, we're going to try the full mini script to steal sequence, all 4 rungs, and we'll time you aim for under 60 seconds.
Okay.
You need to ask all 4 questions, playing the role of the confident conversation starter. Ready?
Yeah, I think so. Ready? Time me.
Okay, go.
Quick question. How's your week going so far?
It's been pretty good, actually. A little busy with client meetings, but definitely productive.
Okay, good. I'm curious, what made you choose this specific session over the others running today?
Well, I was really hoping to learn more about those new AI integration tools that the company's piloting.
Oh, really? Interesting. How did you first get into that whole area of AI?
You know, it was kind of unexpected. A project just landed on my desk last spring, and I sort of ran with it and got hooked.
Wow, that's fascinating. So what did that initial project teach you about what actually works and maybe what doesn't work in your current role when it comes to AI?
And at time. That was 52 seconds. Nicely done.
Okay. 52 seconds.
That was genuinely excellent. You hit all 4 rungs: warm, open, story, reflection. You used softeners like quick question, I'm curious. You allowed space for the answers. On under a minute. You really have the toolkit now. You can move from that basic, hi, how are you, to a really thoughtful conversation about experiences, learning, action. It makes you sound not just fluent, but really engaging.
Okay, wow. I actually do feel much more confident now. Just knowing those rungs are there as a guide, it feels less random. I guess the biggest challenge that comes to mind now is how do I adapt this for different people, different cultures, globally?
That is the perfect question to end on today, because we've given you the conversational toolkit for what to say, right? The structure. But there's that huge factor we haven't fully unpacked yet. Cultural differences, the comfortable pace of a conversation, the expected depth, what topics are considered okay. It can vary wildly across different countries, different industries, even different companies.
Right. I imagine that safe filter, especially the appropriate part, changes dramatically depending on who you're talking to and where.
It absolutely does, and that's exactly what we'll tackle next time. We're going to look at how different cultures often approach conversation pace and depth, and we'll explore the best ways to ask about contexts. Things like, how is X usually done in your city? Or what's the norm for Y in your industry? Rather than asking directly, and sometimes awkwardly, about personal identities.
Focusing on context, not identity. That sounds really useful.
It's crucial for global communication, so definitely don't miss that discussion. Thanks so much for joining us today as we explored these essential conversation skills.
The 4-step ladder. Master the art of conversation depth.
Feeling stuck after? Hi, how are you? Learn the practical toolkit B1, B2 speakers need to move from small talk to meaningful connection. We introduced the 4-step bridge question ladder and the safe filter to make your questions global, friendly, interesting, and easy to answer without feeling awkward. Plus, quick drills to boost your confidence instantly. Thumbnail hook phrases. Thumbnail hook phrases. 4 steps to deep talk. Thumbnail hook phrases. VA 4 words. Ask safe questions. Thumbnail hook phrases. Fix awkward silence.
English conversation, B1, B2 practice, small talk, bridge questions, fluency, communication skills, speaking confidence.